Welcome, everyone. Today we will be discussing ways to support youth in foster care. But before we get started today, let's start by introducing myself. My name is Jennifer Castillo. I am an MSW intern working for SISG and the Alliance for Positive Youth Development. My focus is in leading social change and innovation through macro level social work. I am very passionate about educating and empowering youth in foster care to improve educational outcomes. Some background, a little bit about myself, is that I actually grew up in foster care at a very young age. So my experience within the system has really sparked my passion to bring awareness of the experiences and the systemic issues that foster youth face. My intention in this webinar is to bring awareness of the challenges and hardships of foster youth in foster care, and provide ways to help along with resources. Let us begin by asking why we should talk about youth in foster care. Youth in foster care remain an invisible population and extremely vulnerable. In fact, as of 2022, 407,383 youth are in the foster care system throughout the United States. Of those 407,383, 29,105 are under the age of 1 year old. 140,213 are between the ages of 1 and 5. 91,658 are between the ages of 6 and 10. And 90,502 are between the ages of 11 and 15. We see also that 55,905 are between the ages of 16 to 20 years old. That is a lot. While the number of children in foster care has decreased since the 2000s, statewide and nationally, California continues to have the largest number of children entering the system each year. There are a total of 50,736 youth in foster care residing in California alone. Let's take a closer look at the ethnicity and racial background of youth in foster care within California. With the rate per thousand, we can see here as a breakdown of race, African American, the population is 21.8%, with Native American Alaska Native is 20.7%, Asian Pacific Islander is 1.1%, and Hispanic Latinx 5.3%, along with white is 4.4% children in foster care. Race and ethnicity is critical to understanding the experiences associated within the foster care system. Here you can even see a breakdown by county of what this looks like. Research has shown that children of color, those with disabilities, and the LGBTQ+ youth are at increased risk for poorer outcomes compared with the general foster care population. Black children have consistently higher annual rates of maltreatment, reports confirmed findings of victimization, and removals to foster care. National estimates of the cumulative likelihood of confirmed maltreatment indicates that 1 in 5 Black children are documented as victims of maltreatment before age compared to 1 in 10 white children. Furthermore, Indigenous and children of color spend longer in foster care and have worse reunification permanency outcomes than white children. While I know this is a lot of information, let's discuss 4 ways you can help youth in foster care. Things we can do to make a difference. Help them manage their feelings and behavior. Help them increase their self-esteem. Help them feel a sense of belonging and trust, and help them be included or feel included. Young people in foster care are at an increased risk in range of emotional, physical, behavioral, academic, and employment problems with outcomes generally worse for those in group homes. Youth in foster care experience complex trauma stemming from maltreatment, multiple placements, moves, loss of family and friends, and multiple school moves, to name a few causes. Simply stated, trauma changes the brain. Trauma can affect development and learning in a number of ways. Many youth in foster care struggle with the trauma they experienced and respond with a fight, flight, or freeze response. Here are some examples of that. The flight behavior. Flight markers can be identified as withdrawing, skipping class, avoiding others, or becoming disengaged. Flight can be seen through acting out, aggressive behavior, defiance, hyperactive behavior, or arguing. The freeze behavior can be expressed as refusing to answer or a blank look, because these responses are interpreted and are misinterpreted by the classroom teacher. Suspension or expulsions usually follow. The freeze also includes the ability to focus and take in new information with the ability to access previous learning and emotional regulation. The academic impact. Youth in foster care are more likely than their peers to have academic and behavioral problems in school, resulting in lower GPAs, higher rates of school absences, decreasing reading ability, higher rates of disciplinary referrals, suspensions, expulsions, and higher rates of school leaving. Adopted children exhibit poor impulse control, running away, antisocial behavior, sexual acting out, rejection of discipline, difficulty with adult authorities, and rejection of parental figures. Why is this important to know? Youth in foster care continue to struggle with managing their behavior, which significantly is going to impact their academic achievement and overall quality of life. 65% of youth in foster care have reported becoming incarcerated or homeless in the first 18 months after emancipation. But let's talk about things you can do to help with this situation. Identify patterns and activities that either soothe or upset a child. In the middle and high school years, when these trajectories are shaped increasingly with social support, relationships, and resources, teachers provide the most proximal influence in shaping students' self-efficacy beliefs. By changing the classroom environment, adjusting their instructional or interpersonal strategies, or reinforcing students' goals for learning. Another activity that you may do in the classroom to help youth in foster care is creating a collage of feelings. A collage of feelings activity allows youth to gather images associated with how they feel. This is a great activity to do with foster youth, since youth in foster care have trouble navigating how they feel and expressing themselves. The activity allows youth to express a feeling they are experiencing and collect images that represent how that feeling may look. Helping with trust and a sense of belonging. Lack of trust may also occur when youths have feelings of distrust towards the foster care system and child protective services, and therefore want to avoid further contact or turn to their system for further aid. Placement instability. Moving multiple times within one episode of out-of-home placement is very common experience for adolescents in care, with between 1/3 and 1/4 of youth moving 5 or more times during one episode of care. For youth in foster care, rejection may occur multiple times, first in the biological family of origin, and then again within foster homes. A sense of belonging develops within the context of a loving relationship and experience of predictable, sensitive care, which in turn leads to felt security. Things you can do to help build that trust and connection with youth in foster care: allowing youth to write down things in a journal, or conducting an activity called Paint the Journal. This allows youth to use their art or words to express how they feel. This can also be a tool if youth have trouble sharing or expressing how they feel. The journal allows for confidentiality and may be a way for them to start a conversation or to build rapport or connection with new social workers or teachers. Feeling included. Youth in foster care have reported that they feel they have to grow up faster than their peers. A common theme in a focus group study mentioned that youth in foster care that were about to age out of the system were frustrated about the decisions made on their behalf. They felt they had no control where they were going, what school they would attend, or where they would live. This caused them to feel anxious, frustrated, angry, and sad. While youth in foster care do not have control over their safety decisions made on their behalf, it is important to listen to them. Listen to how they feel, what they believe to be best for them. And while this may not be an option depending on each individual's case, it is important for foster youth to feel heard and that their voice matters. Ways to help. Offering children opportunities for control and choice can help calm kids who associate powerlessness with danger. Personal needs including normalcy, safety opportunities for decision making, boundaries, and permission. Such examples can be youth choosing what food they would like to eat for the day, clothes they would like to wear, giving youth opportunities to choose what books they would like to read, and what activities they would like to participate in, and provide opportunities for decision making. Self-esteem. Children placed in foster care are at a greater risk for mental and emotional challenges. They have been found to experience more depression, anxiety, or attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder, phobias, disruptive disorders, and difficulty expressing their feelings. Due to their history of abuse and neglect, youth in foster care may be at heightened risk for PTSD. Additionally, adolescents suffer from poor self-esteem, and being in foster care makes the transition into adolescence even more difficult. Furthermore, LGBTQ plus youth are overrepresented in the foster care system and experience greater foster care related stressors. These factors may further elevate their risk of anxiety, depression, PTSD, self-harm, and suicidality. The LGBTQ plus youth in foster care are also more likely to be hospitalized for emotional or mental health reasons compared to their peers. This is a lot to break down. You may be wondering, how can I help? Things you can do to offer emotional support. Challenge the labels. The foster youth label itself and labels associated within the foster care system creates a social stigma. Hard to place is a label. Running away from a placement triggers a punitive system response whereby youth are less likely to be placed in a foster home and are more likely to carry labels of hard to place. They are then more likely to be placed into a restrictive, non-family care setting, for example, a group home or residential. The LGBTQ plus youth are significantly more likely to run away and experience homelessness compared to their peers, in part because of family rejection. The label boys or girls. There are policies in place within the foster youth system that prohibit foster parents from rooming children of the opposite sex in a shared bedroom. Those policies do not include transgender and gender nonconforming youth. Relatively failure to provide clothing or products, hair care that are aligned with youth's gender identity, and not using youth's chosen name or pronouns is associated with increased suicidal behaviors amongst transgendered youth. How to help affirm youth's gender and sexuality are critically essential. Chosen family networks are especially relevant within communities of color, where created families such as the gay family or queer family provide mutually supportive relationships. Building that support system. Doing an activity called the privilege walk helps youth bring awareness to the various forms of privilege amongst themselves and their peers. This activity provides a sense of calm to the body and positively impacts their mindset, interpretation of surroundings, and emotional state through creativity. These activities show youth techniques on how to help enhance their self-esteem and the importance of mental health. The objective of the Privilege Walk activity is to raise awareness of various forms of privilege and understand the intersectionality of race, socioeconomic class, gender, and other demographic variables that shape individuals, appreciate the diversity of individual backgrounds, and enforce team building. While youth in foster care face many challenges throughout their lives, the most impactful way of helping is having a mentor. Mentors can be peers, teachers, counselors, emancipated foster youth, neighbors, after-school staff, and coaches. Why is it important? Well, 80% of youth in foster care have indicated they want to go to college, but only 47% of foster youth earn a high school degree or general education diploma. Mentors can advocate for youth in foster care and guide them to the right curriculum that matches their educational needs. If you are in a professional setting, working with youth, you can make a huge difference in somebody's life. I remember when I was in 7th grade and I transferred middle schools, there was an English professor who had me stay back after class to discuss changing classrooms. He mentioned that I was performing above average in English, and I had recommended to the school I change the curriculum that matches my academic needs. That was the first conversation I've had like that. Furthermore, my sophomore year in high school, none of my professors had discussed with me that it would be more challenging and beneficial if I took an AP class. This was a big deal. I felt seen, and him believing in me sparked my passion to continue with my education, and he believed I could do it. And that was when my first discussion took place about going to college. Professors are not only mentors that influence youth, but even my neighbor was the person that helped review my college application and helped me get where I am today. Another example helping foster youth is when a 16-year-old reported landing his first job interview, but was nervous he didn't have any clothes to prepare for the interview. He reported, "I had a job interview scheduled next week, and my caseworker was trying very hard to help me find a pair of slacks. She really went above and beyond to help me get what I needed. The slacks were a little baggy, but at least I had them for the interview." Helping youth in foster care can be through providing academic and social support, or as simple as helping them find resources. Here are some resources foster youth may need that may be helpful for you to know. Education and training by coordinators for youth in foster care offered throughout the state. State Independent Living and Education and Training Vouchers, the ETV coordinators. If you scan the code here, you can find the program is a federally funded program designed to assist eligible youth in making successful transitions from foster care to independent living. The coordinators in the states are responsible for assisting youth in foster care with accessing service geared towards self-sufficiency prior to exiting foster care. The program provides and creates financial assistance for post-secondary training and education to youth who have aged out of foster care or who have left foster care after age 16. Feel free to scan the code to see what services they offer within your state. The National Runaway Safe Line refers youth and families to local resources such as shelters, mental health services, food pantries, and more. The Home Free program also offered reunites youth with their family or guardian through a free bus ticket home or to a safe alternative living arrangement. Again, if you want to scan the code, it takes you directly to the site. Mental health resources. It is clear mental health is truly important with youth in foster care. The information is listed and help navigate through mental health concerns, such as but not limited to suicidal thoughts, depression, or feeling alone. We also have the crisis text line, which information is listed and can text this number to reach a trained counselor when dealing with the crisis or just needing someone to talk to. The Trevor Project is the world's largest suicide prevention and mental health organization for the LGBTQ plus youth, provides an international community called Trevor Space for the LGBTQ plus youth ages 13 to 24. All resources are 100% confidential and free. The 211 Help Center. They help with housing and rent assistance, mental health assistance, access to health care, substance abuse programs, utility and rent, childcare assistance, emergency food and clothes locally within your community. All you have to do is dial 211. While I appreciate all the things that we covered today about foster youth, we want to discuss how you can make a difference. Helping youth in foster care can be through providing academic, social, and emotional support, and as simple as helping them find resources. Not only providing resources to them, but teaching them where to find them. In the event you're not there, help foster youth become more self-sufficient and support their independence. The best thing to do is to be there for them, support them, taking that extra time to show them that you care and that they matter. Youth in foster care need to feel seen and not be labeled or feel like they don't fit in. Overall, a small gesture goes a long way, and with your help, you can truly make a difference to help bridge the gap of foster youth. I truly appreciate all of you. Thank you for your time. Please reach out to us at cisggroup.org if you would like to receive more resources and training. Thank you.